Simmons files grievance in a $20 million bid as ugly Sixers divorce drags on, and other NBA news. Ben Simmons is back in the headlines, and yes, it's for more drama with the 76ers. Simmons has now been traded from the Sixers to the Brooklyn Nets, and he isn't shy in talking about his grievances with his former team. Additionally, we will also dive into why Simmons is so confident about coming back to the court, the bizarre glue girl that went viral after her protest at a recent NBA game, and Pat Beverley's very public celebration. Stay tuned to find out all the inside details, and trust me, you do not want to miss this. There's at least one more chapter in Ben Simmons' saga with the 76ers. According to reports from ESPN, Simmons filed a grievance to demand Philadelphia to pay him the approximately $20 million in salary that was apparently withheld from the NBA All-Star this season. The case will now proceed to arbitration, with the NBPA supporting Simmons. Simmons was acquired by the Nets in a blockbuster trade for James Harden at the trade deadline, but he has yet to play for the team. Although the collective bargaining agreement states that a grievance must be filed within 30 days of the alleged wrongdoing, or within the same time frame from the date the facts of the alleged occurrence became known, Simmons' agent, Rich Paul, reportedly believes that the issue has been ongoing all season. While with the 76ers, Simmons missed training camp and the regular season due to mental health difficulties. That came after Simmons was blamed for a defeat to the Hawks in the playoffs last summer, and Sixers coach Doc Rivers stated that he didn't know if Simmons could be the point guard on a championship team. The Nets could use a healthy Simmons when the playoffs begin in less than a week, but that doesn't appear to be the case right now. Speaking about the drama with Simmons, the coach, Doc Rivers, stated the players were just over it. In addition, Simmons was fined several times for missing games. Joel Embiid told Sports Illustrated, "At some point, I started to feel bad for him. He hasn't done any practicing with us," Bruce Brown told reporters. "He actually just passes the ball to us," speaking about the lack of effort he puts in during practice. So it begs the question, does Simmons even deserve this $20 million he's asking for? He barely contributed, and when he did, it only seemed to damage the team. However, he did sign a contract, and he had no idea he was going to be injured for the majority of the season. Reflecting on the situation, Joel Embiid, who was there in the center of the problem for months, is still perplexed as to why Simmons wanted out. Embiid spoke on this in a recent podcast, stating, "I never said that to get him out of there," Embiid said. "I just didn't understand what was going on. Honestly, I didn't understand what happened, what led up to this whole situation. To this day, I don't understand." He went on to state that part of his perplexity stemmed from the amount of success he and Simmons had together, claiming that they had won numerous games side by side. Ben Simmons will finally be featured back on the court, but what do his fellow teammates think about this? In other Simmons news, he is making his way back to the court. The Brooklyn Nets qualified for the NBA playoffs with a 115-108 win against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the play-in round, and Steve Nash's team will now face the Boston Celtics, the Eastern Conference's #2 seed, in the first round. They did it thanks to Kyrie Irving's near-perfect offensive performance, as well as Kevin Durant's clutch performances. But most crucially, they accomplished it without Ben Simmons, who has been a consistent source of encouragement on the team bench since joining the Nets from the Philadelphia 76ers. Simmons has yet to play for the Nets, but it appears like his time is just around the corner. What better place to do it than in the playoffs, where the stakes are incredibly high? According to online sources, Simmons' return might be the catalyst for Brooklyn's transformation from the challenger to championship contender. However, we all remember the Sixers playoff series against the Hawks last year, where Simmons' shooting woes were painfully on show, and he was booed brutally by his own supporters. Simmons, on the other hand, has gotten the fresh start he craved and has been bonding with fellow Aussie and Nets standout Patty Mills. But not everyone is so fond of him. One Nets player told Simmons, "Make something happen in your life." Additionally, another Nets player feels Ben Simmons can play later in the drought, implying that the team is already doing well and they don't want to risk playing Simmons and putting their current position in jeopardy. Because come on, we all know how up and down Simmons can be on the court. Yet another player commented on Simmons, "He walks around like he's Jordan, so it seems like Simmons has no problem letting others know that he is all that." At this moment, there is no way of knowing when Simmons will return, but there's every reason to hope that Simmons, a three-time NBA All-Star, can play like he used to, which made him such a valuable asset. People are going crazy over the viral glue girl. Here's everything you need to know. NBA fans went out of their minds after the weird protest disrupted a vital NBA game, which instantly went viral online. The game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Clippers went disrupted by a protester attempting to stick herself to the court. With a stunning 109-104 comeback win in the play-in tournament, the Timberwolves clinched the 7th seed in the Western Conference, but all anybody could talk about was the lady that they dubbed Glue Girl. Midway through the second quarter, the Timberwolves were shooting free throws when attention was directed to the opposite end of the court. A protester had made her way onto the court beneath the hoop. The woman attempted to attach her body to the court while wearing a t-shirt with a statement supporting animal rights, but her strategy was quickly undone as security swooped in and dragged her away, cleaning up the glue in less time than a timeout usually takes. The protest was unsuccessful, and all that was left on the court was a handprint of glue. The court invasion, of course, went viral on social media, and basketball fans freaked out over the bizarre situation, with many calling the competition the glue game. Numerous viewers also pointed out the many flaws in the protesters' scheme, ranging from the use of a simple arts and crafts glue to the absurdity of utilizing glue created from animal parts to raise animal welfare awareness. Attempting to glue yourself to an NBA floor in protest is a plan so flawed we have no choice but to respect someone going ahead with it anyway. David Ubben of The Atlantic tweeted, "Despite star big man Karl Anthony Towns fouling out of the game, the Timberwolves surged back into the game following the break and managed to take the lead in the fourth quarter." Many supporters joked that the protesters' delay favored the Wolves, who were able to regain some momentum after the break. "Glue Lady flipped the game," tweeted NBA podcaster Chris Vernon. What did you think of the incident? Pat Beverley didn't hold back in celebrating their recent win. Last, but certainly not least, Pat Beverley let it all out in the aftermath of Minnesota's thrilling play-in victory over the Los Angeles Clippers. The NBA play-in tournament's recent victory over the Clippers was personal for Minnesota Timberwolves point guard Patrick Beverley. According to online sources, Beverley, who spent 4 years with the Los Angeles Lakers before being traded to the Memphis Grizzlies last August, was moved to tears after forcing a late turnover in a 109-104 win that secured the T-Wolves' postseason spot. Minnesota is making its first playoff appearance since 2018. In response to their win, Beverley jumped up on the scorer's table near the Clippers bench and started celebrating, shouting into the home crowd as LA watched on. He then rushed around the floor, tossing his jersey into the fans. "Take their butt home," Beverley yelled while celebrating with his former teammates. Beverley has quickly become one of Minnesota's most remarkable players in his debut year with the team. His leap onto the scorer's table was reminiscent of Kevin Garnett after leading the Timberwolves to the Western Conference Finals in 2004. The festivities continued in the locker room, where Beverley, who signed a contract extension with the Timberwolves in February, cursed out his former teammates. Paul George, a Clippers forward, didn't like Beverley's antics, which he addressed in his post-game news conference. "They got guys that are a little bit more confident. His energy and his persona, rubbed off. They make an impact on that roster." George, who led Los Angeles with 34 points in the loss, said Beverley, on the other hand, was out to sabotage his old squad. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Ben Simmons and the continued saga against his former team, the 76ers. We also touched on other recent NBA news. Make sure you let us know your thoughts down below. What did you think about Simmons? Do you think he will make or break the Nets? Did you see the now viral Glue Girl incident? Let us know in the comments. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.